SDSU fraternity facing a lawsuit over hazing. Details in a live report.
New charges tonight against a local plastic surgeon accused in the death of one of his patients.
After the tragic car crash that killed a 6-year-old boy in Kensington, people are calling for stop signs to be placed at the intersection.
Plus, can a U.S. president pardon himself of a crime? We verify.
And 3 best friends team up for one magical drink. And after 21 attempts at perfection, along came
Batch 22.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
A San Diego State University fraternity is facing a lawsuit after a student ended up in a coma in the hospital with what his attorneys say was a 1% chance of survival. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The lawsuit says the student, Benjamin Brennan, was taken to the hospital by 9 Kappa Sigma fraternity members who are named as co-defendants in the lawsuit after the group's initiation ritual.
CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes is following this story for us. She joins us live with more details. Kirsten?
Yes, I'm here outside of Kappa Sigma's house on Lindo Paseo Drive, where these court documents say that fraternity members here forced 19-year-old Brennan to drink alcohol. They beat him and then dropped him off at the hospital. Now, what's really striking here is that Kappa Sigma was already expelled from campus and was not supposed to operate again until 2031.
He was in the hospital for several days fighting for his life, and thank God he did survive.
James Frentz is Benjamin Brennan's attorney, who says the 19-year-old will now spend the rest of his life recovering after trying to pledge Kappa Sigma at SDSU in April of 2021.
He was surfing and having a great life, and then boom, goes to that frat house, and they take his life away.
Their lawsuit says instead of making friends in the fraternity, Brennan ended up in a coma and on a ventilator fighting for his life after fraternity members poured alcohol and drugs into him, beat him with paddles, and then dumped his lifeless body at a local hospital. His blood alcohol level, 0.489, more than 6 times the legal driving limit.
He can't work, he can't go to school, and he's faced with all these medical problems for the rest of his life.
SDSU shared a statement saying, quote, Kappa Sigma was suspended from SDSU in 2020 and expelled in 2022. The chapter appealed the university's decision earlier this year, and the university has upheld their expulsion. The chapter is not an approved, recognized student organization and has not been since 2020. Attorneys representing Brennan say that's not good enough.
I think the policing needs to be significantly enhanced by both the Greek system and the university.
Brennan's stepfather also provided a statement that says in part, quote, Ben would be a junior at SDSU pursuing his business degree. Instead, this life-altering event left him physically and mentally injured and has sent him into a tailspin. He has had to drop out of SDSU, leaving him with enormous student debt and nothing to show for it. Brennan's attorneys say they want to sound the alarm about the dangers of hazing because Kappa Sigma is a repeat offender.
They engage in the same behavior that they were suspended for all over again. These fraternities have to be brought under control.
Kappa Sigma's national organization sent a statement saying in part, quote, what happened to Benjamin Brennan is unacceptable. We continue to adamantly oppose hazing. Attorneys tell us that 7 of the 9 students named in that lawsuit have already been have already been suspended from SDSU. They also tell us that in an act of defiance, they say that this fraternity continued to recruit students and increase their rush time from 2 weeks to 6 weeks, all while not being a recognized student organization. Kirsten Holmes, CBS 8, back to you.
Kirsten, obviously this fraternity had been under scrutiny. Did Brennan know that the organization had been expelled from campus when he pledged?
Yes, we checked with the attorneys and they say that Brennan in fact knew that the fraternity was expelled from campus and was one of 19 students who tried to pledge Kappa Sigma anyway.
Kirsten Holmes reporting for us live. Thanks, Kirsten. And today, emotion filled a courtroom as the man who shot and killed twin teenage girls received a life sentence. Leah and Kyra Christopher were murdered back in 2020 inside a Lemon Grove home. The killer, Dwayne Groves, had been dating the girls' mother, Joanne Hoyt, but the two had recently broken up at the time of the murders. Here's what Hoyt had to say during today's sentencing.
Plans with friends that will never be fulfilled. Milestones they will never cross over. This past year, we celebrated their 18th birthday. at what would have been their graduation.
The twins' grandmother also spoke, saying Groves is a child killer and says she hopes he is haunted by this for the rest of his life. A man is in custody tonight after being taken down by a police dog at the end of a chase across San Diego. Police say this started with a call about someone threatening family members with a gun and vandalizing cars in Linda Vista. Police spotted the suspect in his white pickup near Friars and Ulrich Street, and he took off. During the chase, he had a car and a fire truck. Here you see the end of that chase. Chopper 8 caught video of that part of the chase going across the 8 and 67. The driver now is in the hospital, being treated for dog bites. We saw how he is pulled in and facing a long list of charges, including assault with a deadly weapon.
The San Diego County District Attorney's Office plans to file second-degree murder charges against a local plastic surgeon who performed breast implant surgery on a woman who later died. Police arrested Dr. Carlos Chacon yesterday at his office in Bonita. As CBS 8's David Gottfredson reports, Chacon was previously charged with manslaughter in the death of Megan Espinoza, who was a 36-year-old mother of 2.
We've been involved in the case since approximately 2019 when we filed a civil action in Ms. Espinoza's death.
Megan Espinoza died in 2018 after undergoing outpatient breast implant surgery at the Divino offices in Bonita. 3 years later, prosecutors charged Dr. Carlos Chacon and one of his nurses with involuntary manslaughter. Now, CBS has learned the DA plans to file an amended complaint on Monday, charging Dr. Chacon with the more serious crime of second-degree murder, according to this arrest warrant filed in the case.
An involuntary manslaughter carries a sentence up to 4 years. A reckless homicide, or sometimes referred to as second-degree murder charge, carries 15 years to life. So it's a pretty big and significant penalty.
Police arrested Dr. Chacon Thursday morning. Attorney Christian Yagush represented Espinoza's family in a lawsuit that ended in a large monetary settlement last year.
The family is pleased to see that justice is being served for Megan, and further charges and more responsibility, at least for Dr. Chacon, is really what they want.
The arrest warrant alleges Dr. Chacon performed the surgery on the 36-year-old mother of 2 under, quote, conscious sedation that resulted in cardiac arrest, and that the doctor had no anesthesiologist in the room. There was loud music playing during the operation. He failed to call 911 for 3 hours after Espinoza went into cardiac arrest, and lied multiple times about the woman's condition. Espinoza's family is frustrated, the attorney says, because despite the criminal charges, Dr. Chacon is still licensed to practice medicine.
Hopefully this will get the attention of the medical board and the legislators to make changes so that patients are protected.
Chacon will now remain in custody until his Monday hearing, when he will be arraigned on the amended complaint. At the Chula Vista Courthouse, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
All right, David, thank you. CBS 8 did reach out to Dr. Chacon's defense attorney for comment, but so far we have not heard back.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta and local state assembly member Brian Mainshine are working to make sure victims of consumer fraud are compensated appropriately. The two announced new legislation today that the bill would establish a restitution fund in the state treasury for victims of consumer fraud. That fund would come from money paid out by businesses violating the law. This is meant to correct problems in the system. Many victims eligible for restitution never see a penny because the businesses involved collapse or become insolvent.
We know a lot of you want to celebrate the San Diego State men's basketball team, and you'll have that chance in just about 24 hours.
SDSU is hosting a big celebration for the Aztecs and all of their fans at Snapdragon Stadium tomorrow. CBS 8's Jesse Pagan is here with everything you need to know if you're planning to go. Jesse.
Hey guys, so let's get to some specifics, okay? The gates at Snapdragon Stadium open at 6 p.m. tomorrow for this big party that we are all so excited to get going, right? So the gates open at 6, the team gets there at 6:30. 6:30, there's going to be a chance for people who aren't in the stadium yet to interact with the team and get some pictures and whatnot as they walk into the stadium. That's going to happen around that same time. Then there's going to be a red carpet moment for the team, and that will be shown on the big screens inside the stadium for people who are already in there. Then the program starts at 7:30 with some speakers. The team was obviously on the road for a big part of the NCAA tournament and saw their fans at every court they played on, but organizers say they might not know how much San Diego really rallied around them and cheered them on from home. I mean, we all saw these watch parties. Now they say the chance for the team to really soak it in is here.
It's really special. You know, this sort of thing isn't the type of thing that comes around all the time. So having this opportunity is something we definitely want to make special for our team and for the fans.
All right, so what you're looking at here is a map of Snapdragon Stadium and what's really going to look like when it comes tomorrow. So you'll be able to park for free in all of these big colored lots, but they say to get there early if you want to drive. Alternatively, you can also take an Uber or a Lyft. That drop-off area is going to be that green little patch right there next to the purple lot. Of course, you can also take a trolley, which drops you off right there, the MTS trolley, right at the trolley plaza at Snapdragon Stadium, of course. Now, the team is going to get dropped off at the roundabout at the end of Innovation Parkway down here. That's going to happen around 6:30. The plan for them to walk along Innovation Parkway and then enter the stadium on the east side right there. Organizers say fans can really line up along that part right there. There's going to be a tunnel as well that they're going to have to walk through, and that's where you'll be able to get a chance to hang out with them, congratulate, clap for them, cheer them on, and all that good stuff. So
how fun.
A lot of fun time, a lot of fun planning that has gone into this to really get the fans to interact with the team and for the team to really just be able to kind of soak in all this good energy that all of the fans have been giving them and sending them throughout, you know, the entire tournament.
And a lot of people may not have had a chance to explore or visit Snapdragon Stadium too.
Right.
So just the newness of it all, the excitement of welcoming them home after such an amazing season.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
That's
Make sure you get your tickets first.
Get your tickets first. You can get them online. We have a link on CBS8.com. And also, security is always a thought, you know, for a lot of people in big events like this, especially at a venue like Snapdragon. So the organizers told me earlier today, just a few hours ago, that all of the normal security rules are in place for any event at Snapdragon Stadium. So that means, you know, the usual stuff, clear bag policy, keep an eye over your shoulder, everybody's going to be ticketed, wristbanded, all that good stuff.
All right.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. So get out there, share your pictures and videos with us. I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Based on the crowds we've seen, get there early.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Jesse.
I can already hear thousands of cheering
it's
fans.
going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Still ahead, the penalty a man from Southern California faces for driving 152 miles per hour in a 55 zone.
Plus, questions tonight about former President Trump's ability to pardon himself if he's elected in 2024. We verify.
Basking in the sunshine for today, but will that last through the weekend? I'll have all those details coming up.
And up next, the bill that creates a path to citizenship for California's farm workers.